the defense had little to work with. There were no claims of self-defense left to make, no mental health angles strong enough to win sympathy from a jury. Some viewed the girls as cold-blooded killers. Others, especially those familiar with the long custody dispute and Nikki's parenting struggles, believed the system had failed all three of them. Even within the family, the response was split. Some relatives sided with the girls, blaming the courts for forcing them back into Nikki's custody after years of living safely with their great-grandmother. But for law enforcement, one thing was clear. Nothing could justify what had been done. The court would soon have its say, and the twins, no longer protected by youth, denial, or silence, would finally face the consequences, facing justice. With their confessions on record and the evidence neatly aligned, the case of Tasmiyah and Jasmiyah Whitehead moved out of the realm of mystery and into the machinery of justice. The Rockdale County District Attorney's office no longer needed to prove motive or reconstruct the timeline. The twins had laid it all out themselves, but the case was still complicated. The girls were juveniles, just 16 at the time of the murder. Yet the brutality of the crime, the age of the victim, and the national attention made it almost impossible for prosecutors to treat it as anything less than first-degree murder. The courtroom would now become the final arena for the unraveling of this tragic story. Juveniles charged as adults. In May 2010, shortly after their confessions, the court made the decision. Tasmiyah and Jasmiyah would be tried as adults. This move sparked both approval and outrage. Some believed that anyone capable of committing such a violent act, regardless of age, should be tried accordingly. Others argued that the girls had been abused, manipulated by a broken custody system, and lacked the mental maturity to fully comprehend their actions. But in Georgia, the law was clear. Murder committed by individuals as young as 13 could be tried in adult court. And in this case, the prosecution wasn't backing down. A grand jury indicted the twins on multiple charges, including malice, murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, possession of a knife during the commission of a crime. With trial preparations underway, both girls were held in Rockdale County Jail, sharp contrast from the juvenile facilities they had known. Gone were the counseling sessions and group therapy. Gone was the hope of early intervention. Now it was just concrete walls, barred windows, and the looming specter of life in prison. A strategic move. Plea negotiations. As the trial date approached in 2012, both defense teams knew the risks of going before a jury. The confessions were irrefutable, the evidence overwhelming. A conviction on first-degree murder could result in life without parole, even for minors.